Hello friends, welcome to SACHU'S Biology. In this video, I am going to explain about the introduction of life processes. The introduction of life processes. What are life processes? The basic functions performed by living organisms to maintain their life on this earth are called life processes. The basic life processes common to all the living organisms are nutrition and respiration, transport and excretion, control and coordination, response to stimuli, growth, movement and reproduction. The process of nutrition involves the taking of food inside the body and converting it into smaller molecules which can be absorbed by the body. Respiration is the process which releases energy from the food absorbed by the body. Transport is the process in which a substance absorbed or made in one part of the body is moved to other parts of the body. Excretion is the process in which the waste materials produced in the cells of the body are removed from the body. Control and coordination is a process which helps the living organisms to survive in the changing environment around them. The process of reproduction involves the making of more organisms from the existing ones so that organisms could live on this earth forever. Energy is needed for the life processes. All the living organisms need energy to perform various life processes. They get the energy from food. Food is a kind of fuel which provides energy to all the living organisms. Actually, living organisms continuously need energy for their various life processes and other activities which they perform. For example, energy is required by an organism even during sleep. This is because when we are asleep, a number of biological processes keep on occurring in the body, which require energy. Our heart beats non-stop even when we are asleep to pump blood throughout the body. And this beating of heart requires energy. Thus, the working of heart requires a continuous supply of energy. The energy required by an organism comes from the food that the organism eats. Thus, food is the basic requirement of all the living organisms for obtaining energy. Next, we can move to nutrition. Food is an organic substance. The simplest food is glucose. It is also called simple sugar. A more complex food is starch. Starch is made from glucose. The general name of substances like glucose and starch is carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are the most common foods for getting energy. Fats and proteins are also foods. The process of taking in food or consuming food and utilizing it is called nutrition. It is a process in which food is obtained in order to utilize it to provide energy for performing various metabolic activities of the organism. Nutrition is a process of intake of nutrients like carbohydrates, fats, proteins, minerals, vitamins and water by an organism as well as the utilization of these nutrients by the organisms. We will now describe the different modes of nutrition of the various organisms. Modes of nutrition. Modes of nutrition means methods of procuring food or obtaining food by an organism. There are mainly two modes of nutrition. One is autotrophic and another one is heterotropic. We will now discuss the autotrophic mode of nutrition and the heterotropic mode of nutrition in detail, one by one. First one is autotrophic mode of nutrition. The word auto means self and tropy means nutrition. Thus, autotrophic means self-nutrition. In autotrophic nutrition, the organism makes or synthesizes its own food from the inorganic raw materials. We can now say That autotropic nutrition is that mode of nutrition in which an organism makes or synthesizes its own food from the simple inorganic materials like carbon dioxide and water present in their surroundings with the help of the sunlight energy. Please note that food is an organic material like glucose, etc. This means that in autotropic nutrition, organic material is made from inorganic materials. Those organisms which can make their own food from carbon dioxide and water are called autotrophs. For example, all the green plants are autotrophs. Blue-green algae, some bacteria and fungi. The autotrophic organisms contain the green pigment called chlorophyll, which is capable of trapping sunlight energy. Next one is heterotropic mode of nutrition. The word heteros means others and tropy means nutrition. Thus, heterotropic means nutrition obtained from others. We can now say that heterotropic nutrition is that mode of nutrition in which an organism cannot make or synthesize its own food from simple inorganic materials like carbon dioxide and water and depends on other organisms for its food. All the animals have the heterotropic mode of nutrition. Most bacteria and fungi also have heterotropic mode of nutrition. Those organisms which cannot make their own food from inorganic substances like carbon dioxide and water and depend on other organisms for their food are called heterotrophs. All the animals are come under heterotrophs. For example, man, dog, cat, deer, tiger, lion, cow, etc. Next we can move to types of heterotropic nutrition. The heterotropic organisms can obtain its food from other organisms in three ways. So the heterotropic mode of nutrition is of three types: saprophytic nutrition, parasitic nutrition and holozoic nutrition. We will now discuss the three types of heterotropic nutrition in detail one by one. Let us start with the saprophytic nutrition. Saprotropic nutrition is that nutrition in which an organism obtains its food from decaying organic matter of dead plants, dead animals and rotten bread, etc. Sapro means rotten, so a saprotropic organism draws its food from rotting wood of dead and decaying trees, rotten leaves, dead animals and household wastes like rotten bread, etc. Saprophytes are the organisms which obtain their food from dead plants like rotten leaves, dead and decaying animal bodies, and other decaying organic matter like rotten bread, fungi, and many bacteria are saprophytes. Please note that saprotropic nutrition is also known as saprophytic nutrition. Next one is parasitic nutrition. The parasitic nutrition is that nutrition in which an organism derives its food from the body of another living organism without killing it. Parasitic mode of nutrition is observed in several fungi, bacteria, a few plants like cuscuta, and some animals like plasmodium and roundworms. Next one is holozoic nutrition. Holozoic nutrition means feeding on solid food. Most of the animals, including human beings, take the solid food into their body by the process of ingestion. We can say that the holozoic nutrition is that nutrition in which an organism takes the complex organic food materials into its body by the process of ingestion. The ingested food is digested and then absorbed into the body cells of the organism. For example, man, cat, dog, cattle, deer, tiger, lion, giraffe, frog, fish, and amoeba, etc. Next, we can divide the holozoic nutrition: herbivores, carnivores, omnivores. We will now discuss herbivores, carnivores, omnivores in some more detail. Let us start with the herbivores. Those animals which eat only plants are called herbivores. The herbivores may eat grasses, leaves, grains, fruits, or the bark of trees. Some of the examples of herbivores are goat, cow, buffalo, sheep, horse, deer, camel, ass, ox, elephant, monkey, etc. Herbivores are also called herbivorous animals. Next one is carnivores. Some animals eat only other animals. They do not eat plant food at all. Those animals which eat only other animals as food are called carnivores. Carnivores eat only the meat or flesh of other animals. So we can also say that those animals which eat only the meat or flesh of other animals are called carnivores. Some of the examples of carnivores are lion, tiger, frog, vulture, kingfisher, lizard, wolf, snake and cock. Carnivores are also called carnivorous animals. Next one is omnivores. Some animals eat both plants as well as other animals as food. Those animals which eat both plants and animals are called omnivores. In other words, the omnivores eat plant food as well as the meat or flesh of other animals. Some of the examples of omnivores are man or human beings, dog, crow, sparrow, bear, myna and ant. Omnivores are also called as omnivorous animals. Thank you for watching my video.